The morning sun bathed the monastery in a golden hue, illuminating the tranquil faces of the disciples seated in silence. Buddha stood beneath the Bodhi tree, his figure calm, his presence enveloping everyone in serenity. The distant chirping of birds melded with the gentle rustle of leaves swaying in the soft breeze. Buddha spoke, his voice like the flowing river, steady and profound. Life is fleeting. Moments pass before we can fully grasp their essence. Yet, the art of presence remains elusive. A young disciple named Sudama, eager yet struggling with his restless mind, raised his hand. "Master," he asked, "why does my mind wander despite my efforts to anchor it?" Buddha's gaze settled on Sudama with unwavering compassion. The mind is like a monkey, swinging between thoughts, desires, fears, and regrets. To tame it, we must understand presence. He picked up a clay bowl filled with water. Its surface shimmered like liquid silver under the sunlight. "Carry this bowl," Buddha instructed, "to the nearby garden without spilling a single drop." Sudama, bewildered but determined, took the bowl with careful hands and began his task. Every step was deliberate, every breath controlled. As Sudama walked, his focus was wholly on the bowl, ignoring the distractions around him. Upon returning, the water remained undisturbed, its surface as still as Sudama's concentrated mind. Buddha smiled warmly at him. "What did you feel during your journey, Sudama?" Buddha's tone invited reflection, not haste. Sudama paused, searching for the right words. "Master, my mind was calm. My thoughts did not wander as they usually do. My focus was unwavering." Buddha gently nodded, affirming Sudama's realization. When we engage fully with what we do, our minds align with the present moment, erasing chaos and distraction. Another disciple, Sita, who had been silently observing, spoke next. Compassion had mended broken spirits, Buddha said. The Buddha looked at each disciple, his gaze calm and penetrating. Presence is the flow within it. Resistance disrupts the flow, acceptance harmonizes it. He gestured toward the river visible in the distance. Its waters glimmered, winding effortlessly around rocks and obstacles. "Look at the river. It adapts, yet it never ceases to flow. Learn from it. Flow with presence." Sita reflected deeply, her fingers tracing faint patterns on the grass. She asked, "But Master, when the heart is heavy with sorrow, how can presence ease the pain?" Buddha's gaze softened, his voice carrying the tenderness of the moonlit sky. "Sita, sorrow resides in clinging, in resistance to impermanence. Presence allows us to meet sorrow, not avoid it." He shared a tale of a king who mourned the loss of his dearest friend. The king sought solace in distractions, yet the pain lingered. One day, he sat by the lake, witnessing its stillness despite the rippling waves. Inspired by the calm waters, he practiced presence, observing his grief rather than escaping it. The king found peace, Buddha concluded. Presence revealed that sorrow, like a cloud, passes with time. All emotions dissolve like dew under sunlight. A voice arose from the back of the gathering. A farmer, his hands calloused from years of labor. "Master, I toil daily in the fields, yet my mind remains restless. How can presence help me?" Buddha approached the farmer with a gentle demeanor. He knelt beside him, lifting a handful of earth from the ground. "Farmer, observe the soil. It is here, holding roots, nurturing life. It does not escape, nor does it cling." He sought counsel from a wise elder, who said, "Your business reflects your heart. Hardened hearts reap barren fields. Be present in its feel, its scent, its life within." Presence transforms labor into meditation. Leadership is not confined to thrones or titles, he continued. Every act of influence, whether grand or small, deserves compassion. "Master, I understand. Presence is not confined to meditation. It lives in every breath, every moment. The disciples sat in deep contemplation. Tonight, meditate on compassion, Buddha instructed. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the monastery, Buddha concluded, presence is not bound by place or time. It is the essence of life itself. The disciples, embracing the wisdom shared that day, returned to their meditations and daily tasks. The teachings of the Buddha resonated deeply within them, as timeless as the rhythm of breath, as enduring as the flowing river. Another day, another morning bathed in golden light, Buddha gathered his disciples under the ancient Bodhi tree. The soft hum of nature surrounded them, carrying serenity as birds began their morning songs. Buddha's eyes reflected infinite calm. Like the still waters of a silent lake, Buddha spoke with clarity and purpose. Breath is the thread that connects the body and mind, weaving the fabric of awareness. The disciples listened attentively, their hearts eager for understanding. Buddha continued, it is not just a bodily function. It is life's rhythm, ever present yet often unnoticed. A merchant named Varuna sat among the disciples. His face bore marks of worry, his hands trembling slightly with unspoken struggles. Buddha addressed him gently, Varuna, why does your breath seem hurried, as though it carries the weight of your burdens? Varuna replied hesitantly, Master, my work consumes me, my thoughts racing from one concern to another. Peace feels distant, unreachable. Buddha's gaze softened, his presence emanating compassion. Peace is not distant, Varuna. It resides within your breath, waiting patiently for you to notice. Buddha invited Varuna to sit closer, his voice guiding as though from the depths of the earth. Close your eyes and breathe in. Varuna, notice the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs like a gentle stream. Varuna followed the instruction, his chest rising and falling, his tension gradually melting away. Buddha said, now, breathe out, observe the release, the departure of tension, the cleansing flow leaving your body. What do you feel? Varuna opened his eyes. His expression changed, softer and lighter. Master, I feel calm, as though my burdens are carried away with each exhale. Buddha smiled, his tone encouraging but firm. Let your breath guide you, Varuna. Anchor your mind to it, and the chaos within you will quieten. Suddenly, a young child entered the clearing, tears streaking his face. The child was lost and frightened, clutching his tiny hands to his chest. Buddha knelt before the child, his movements slow and deliberate, his aura comforting like a parent's embrace. Little one, why do you cry? Tell me. The child stammered, I can't find my way home. I feel lost and scared. Buddha gently held the child's hands, his presence steadying. Breathe with me, little one. Inhale slowly. Let the air fill your chest like the morning dew fills the earth. The child mirrored Buddha's breathing, his sobs quieting, his small frame less tense. Buddha continued, now exhale gently, releasing fear, releasing worry. Let your breath carry your heart back to calmness. Minutes passed as Buddha guided the child, whose tears ceased, his breathing steady and rhythmic. The child's eyes reflected relief, even a faint smile. Buddha said, your home is not far, little one, but remember your breath is your refuge, always with you. The disciples marveled at the simplicity and power of Buddha's teaching. Sita spoke softly, Master, can breath alone transform despair into peace? Is it truly so profound? Buddha turned to Sita, his voice as calm as the rising moon. Sita, the breath is both simple and profound. It is the bridge between the external world and inner sanctuary. He shared the story of a warrior trapped in a storm during a long journey. The warrior feared the harsh winds and torrential rains, his heart racing with panic. Buddha narrated, the warrior remembered his breath, the rhythm steadying him like an anchor in a restless sea. Through mindful breathing, the warrior endured the storm. His mind clear, his heart unwavering, he emerged stronger, unshaken. Sita nodded, understanding the depth of the lesson, her heart embracing the wisdom shared. The disciples reflected on their own experiences, their minds piecing together the puzzle of breath and awareness. Buddha said, "The breath knows neither past nor future. It exists only now, the gateway to presence and clarity." A quiet moment passed, the wind carrying Buddha's teachings beyond the grove, beyond the monastery walls. Buddha continued, "Let your breath guide you. In each inhale, find renewal. In each exhale, find release. In its rhythm, find peace." The sun climbed higher into the sky, casting its warmth over the serene gathering. Buddha's words lingered like the echo of a distant bell, profound and unending. Another day, another evening lit by the golden hues of the setting sun. Buddha walked with his disciples to the riverbank. The air carried a gentle coolness, and the sound of flowing water calmed the hearts of those present. The river mirrored the sky's changing colors, its currents moving unceasingly with quiet determination. Buddha stood still, gazing at the river, his figure serene, his presence commanding yet soothing. He began speaking, his voice soft but clear. "Observe the river, my friends. It moves without resistance, flowing effortlessly around rocks and obstacles in its path." Ananda, standing closest, asked, "Master, what does the river teach us about life and the challenges we face?" Buddha smiled, his eyes reflecting the glimmering water. "Ananda, the river teaches us acceptance. It embraces all it encounters, neither clinging nor resisting, yet it remains true to itself." He picked up a stone from the riverbank, holding it out for the disciples to see. "This stone is like the burdens we carry, the anger, the fear, the sorrow," Buddha explained. He dropped the stone into the river, watching as it sank, disappearing beneath the surface. When we cling to burdens, we sink under their weight, losing our peace and clarity. The disciples watched the ripples spreading outward, their silent contemplation mirroring the expanding circles in the water. Buddha continued, "Let go of the stone, and the river carries it away. In letting go, we find freedom." Just as the river flows, a warrior in the crowd stepped forward, his face marked by years of struggle and inner turmoil. "Master," the warrior said, "I have carried anger for so long. It drives me, yet it consumes me. How do I let it go?" Buddha approached the warrior, his movements deliberate, his gaze steady. He gestured to the flowing water. "Stand in the river, warrior. Feel its current. Let its flow remind you of life's impermanence and renewal." The warrior obeyed, stepping into the river. The water swirled around his legs. Cool and relentless, Buddha spoke again, his tone like the river's gentle murmur. "Release your anger into the current. Imagine it leaving you, carried away by the river's embrace." The warrior closed his eyes, his hands trembling as he followed Buddha's guidance. He exhaled deeply, his breath merging with the rhythm of the water. After a few moments, the warrior returned to the shore, his expression transformed, his heart lighter. "Master," he said, "the river has taught me to let go. I feel peace for the first time in years." Buddha placed a hand on the warrior's shoulder, his smile gentle yet profound. "The river within you has begun to flow. Nurture it, and it will guide you through life's challenges." A young woman named Lila then spoke, her voice hesitant yet filled with curiosity. "Master, the river flows, but does it ever tire? Does it ever lose its way or its purpose?" Buddha turned to her, his gaze unwavering, his words deliberate. "Lila, the river never tires because it does not resist, it flows with life, finding its path with grace." He gestured toward a tree leaning over the river, its roots dipping into the water. Even when the river meets obstacles, it adapts, flowing around them, nurturing life as it continues its journey. Buddha shared the story of a potter whose clay hardened too quickly, breaking under pressure. The potter, frustrated, sought Buddha's counsel. Buddha told him to soften his approach, to adapt like the river. The potter listened, finding success in flexibility and patience. The river teaches resilience, not through force, but through harmony, Buddha concluded. Embrace its wisdom, and you too will flow effortlessly through life. The disciples absorbed the lesson, their minds reflecting the clarity of the river's surface. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the world in twilight, Buddha spoke once more. The river flows eternally, a reminder of life's transient beauty and boundless potential. Be like the river, my friends. Under the moon's pale light, the disciples meditated by the riverbank, their hearts and minds enriched by Buddha's timeless teachings. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.